Picture this, September 5th, 2003, London. A clear glass box is suspended 30 feet above the ground next to Tower Bridge, one of London's most iconic landmarks. Inside that box is a man, just a man, a sleeping bag, water and nothing else. No food, no privacy, no escape. The man is David Blaine, the American magician and endurance artist. And he's about to spend the next 44 days in that glass box, visible to everyone passing by, without eating a single bite of food. He'll drink only water. He'll have no shelter from the elements. Tourists, commuters, and media from around the world will watch him 24/7 as his body slowly consumes itself. This isn't a magic trick. This isn't an illusion. This is real. For 44 days, David Blaine will push the human body to its absolute limit, broadcasting his deterioration live to millions. He'll lose nearly 25% of his body weight. His organs will begin to fail. His mind will start to break. And the British public, who were supposed to support him, will instead torment him, throw things at him, even try to cut off his water supply. This is the story of Above the Below. David Blaine's 44-day hunger strike in a glass box. It's a story about human endurance, public cruelty, and what happens when you push the body beyond what it's designed to survive. And it's completely terrifyingly real. Let me take you back to who David Blaine was before the box. Born in 1973 in Brooklyn, New York, Blaine became famous in the late 1990s for his street magic TV specials. But unlike traditional stage magicians, Blaine was interested in something different: endurance, pushing the limits of what the human body could survive. In 1999, he was buried alive in a plastic coffin for 7 days. In 2000, he stood frozen in a block of ice for 63 hours. In 2002, he stood on a 100-foot pole for 35 hours without a safety net. These weren't tricks, they were genuine tests of physical and mental endurance, performed live with medical supervision. By 2003, Blaine was planning his most extreme stunt yet: 44 days without food, suspended in a glass box in public view. The inspiration came from stories of hunger strikers, political prisoners, and medical fasting studies. The human body can survive surprisingly long without food if it has water. The world record for a medically supervised fast was 382 days, a Scottish man named Angus Barbieri in the 1960s. But 44 days was still extreme, dangerous, and would push Blaine to the edge. Why 44 days? It's symbolic. Jesus fasted for 40 days in the desert. Blaine wanted to go beyond that, and he wanted to do it publicly, transparently, so everyone could see he wasn't cheating. The plan: Blaine would enter a clear plexiglass box measuring 7 feet long, 7 feet deep, and 3 feet wide, barely larger than a coffin. The box would be suspended by a crane 30 feet above the ground next to Tower Bridge in London. Blaine would have only a sleeping bag, a notebook and a tube feeding him water from a tank above the box. No food, no bathroom. He'd have a tube for waste. No privacy. The box was completely transparent. Medical experts warned this was dangerous. Extreme fasting causes the body to enter ketosis, burning fat and muscle for energy. After weeks, the body starts consuming vital organs. Heart muscle weakens. The immune system fails. Brain function deteriorates. Starvation literally eats you from the inside out. But Blaine was determined. On September 5, 2003, he climbed into the box. The crane lifted him 30 feet into the air above the Thames River. A crowd gathered, cameras rolled, and David Blaine's 44-day ordeal began. Day 1 minus 7. The first week is the hardest for fasting. The body is transitioning from burning glucose to burning fat. Blaine experiences intense hunger pangs, weakness, dizziness, his stomach cramps, but he expected this. He meditates, writes in his notebook, watches the crowds below. Londoners are fascinated. Thousands come to see the man in the box. Some are supportive, holding signs, cheering him on, but others are hostile. This is where things get ugly. British tabloid culture in 2003 is brutal, and some Londoners see Blaine not as an endurance artist, but as an attention-seeking American wasting their time. The media starts mocking him. Tabloids run headlines like "Blaine is barmy" and "What a load of balls." TV comedians make jokes, and the public starts treating the whole thing as a joke. Day 8, set 14. People start actively tormenting Blaine. Someone flies a remote control helicopter near the box with a hamburger attached, dangling it in front of him. Others throw eggs and paint at the glass. Someone uses a laser pointer to shine in his eyes at night so he can't sleep. A group of people set up a barbecue directly under his box, grilling sausages and steaks, letting the smell waft up. They chant, "Eat, eat, eat." Blaine tries to ignore it, but the psychological torture is worse than the hunger. The British press treats this cruelty as comedy. They publish articles about creative ways to torment Blaine. It becomes a national sport. The man is starving himself, his body deteriorating, and the public response is mockery and cruelty. Day 15, 21. Blaine is now deep into starvation. His body has entered full ketosis. He's burning muscle mass. His weight is dropping rapidly. He started at 185 pounds. Now he's around 160 and dropping fast. His face is gaunt. His movements are slow, weak. He sleeps most of the day to conserve energy. Medical staff monitor him remotely with sensors. His vital signs are concerning but stable. His heart rate is low, blood pressure dropping, but he's surviving, barely. The psychological effects are worse. Isolation, hunger and sleep deprivation from constant noise and light are breaking him mentally. He starts hallucinating. He sees people who aren't there, hears voices. Time becomes meaningless. He writes in his notebook but later admits he can't remember what he wrote. Day 22, 28. 1 month in, Blaine has lost over 40 pounds. He's skin and bones. His body is consuming itself. Medically, he's in dangerous territory. His organs are under severe stress. Doctors tell him if he doesn't eat soon, permanent damage is likely. But quitting now would mean failing, and Blaine has built his career on endurance, so he stays. The cruelty continues. Someone tries to cut his water supply line with a knife. Security stops them, but the intent is clear. There are people who want to kill him for entertainment. Golf balls are driven at the box. People shout death threats. The police have to increase security. But there's also support. Some people visit daily, holding signs, praying for him, writing encouraging messages. Children draw pictures for him. These moments of kindness keep him going. Day 29, 35. Blaine is barely conscious now. He spends 20+ hours a day sleeping or in a semi-conscious state. When he's awake, he's disoriented, weak, barely able to move. His body temperature is dangerously low. He wears multiple layers but still shivers constantly. His muscle mass is gone. His body is now consuming vital organs for energy. His heart muscle is weakening. Doctors warn that sudden cardiac arrest is a real possibility, but Blaine refuses to quit. The media coverage shifts. Some outlets that mocked him now express concern. Is this stunt going too far? Is he going to die on live television? Should someone stop him? But Blaine has made it clear. He's going the full 44 days or he's dying trying.
Day 36, 42, the final week.
Blaine is barely alive. He looks like a concentration camp survivor, skeletal, hollow-eyed, barely moving. Spectators who see him are shocked. This isn't entertainment anymore. This is watching a man slowly die. His organs are failing. His kidneys are struggling. His liver is damaged. His heart is weak. Doctors tell him he's at critical risk, but he's come too far. Just a few more days. Day 43, October 18, 2003. Tomorrow is day 44, the end. Blaine has survived 43 days. One more night. He can barely think, barely move. But he's almost done. Day 44, October 19, 2003, 9:30 p.m. The crane lowers the box. A massive crowd has gathered, tens of thousands of people. Some who mocked him are now cheering. The mood has shifted. What started as a joke has become something else, a genuine human achievement. The box touches the ground. Medical staff open the door. David Blaine, weighing now just 140 pounds, 45 pounds lost, tries to stand. He can't. His legs won't support him. Paramedics help him out. He's placed on a stretcher and rushed to the hospital.
He's done it.
44 days, no food, only water, suspended in a glass box in public view. He's pushed the human body to its absolute limit and survived. But at what cost? Blaine spends a week in the hospital recovering. His body is in shock, refeeding syndrome. When a starved body receives food again is dangerous. Too much food too fast can kill. Doctors carefully reintroduce nutrients over days. His organs have been damaged. His heart muscle is weakened. It will take months to recover fully. His kidneys and liver show stress. He's lost massive amounts of muscle mass that will take years to rebuild. Psychologically, he's traumatized. Nightmares, flashbacks, PTSD symptoms. The stunt made international headlines. Love him or hate him, Blaine had done something extraordinary. He'd proven the human body could survive 44 days without food. He'd endured public cruelty, isolation and physical deterioration, and he hadn't quit. But, was it worth it? Critics said it was a pointless stunt. What did it prove? That you can starve yourself for attention, that suffering is entertainment, that pushing the body to the brink of death is somehow noble. Supporters said it was art, performance art, a commentary on endurance, willpower, and human limits, that Blaine had shown mental strength beyond what most people possess, that he'd pushed himself to the edge and returned. Blaine himself said later, "It was the hardest thing I've ever done. physically and mentally. I don't think people understand how close I came to dying. My organs were failing. My heart was weak. If I'd gone one more week, I probably wouldn't have made it. So why did he do it? Blaine has said he's fascinated by human limits, by what the mind and body can endure. He's not interested in traditional magic tricks, illusions where you know it's fake. He wants to do things that are real, that test genuine human endurance. Above the Below was his most extreme test, and it nearly killed him. In the years after, Blaine continued pushing limits. In 2006, he was submerged in water for 7 days. In 2008, he held his breath for 17 minutes, breaking the world record. In 2012, he stood on a platform surrounded by 1,000,000 volts of electricity for 72 hours. Each stunt pushed the body in different ways. But Above the Below remains his most controversial, because it wasn't just physical, it was psychological. The isolation, the public humiliation, the cruelty, it was torture, and he did it voluntarily, for entertainment. There's a dark side to extreme endurance stunts. They normalize suffering, they suggest that pushing the body to the brink of death is admirable, and they can inspire others to attempt dangerous stunts without proper medical supervision. After Blaine's 44-day fast, several people attempted similar stunts. Some ended badly: hospitalizations, permanent organ damage, even deaths. The medical community criticized Blaine for promoting dangerous behavior. But Blaine argues he's not promoting anything. He's not telling people to starve themselves. He's an artist, a performer, exploring human limits in extreme ways. He has medical supervision, years of preparation, and knows the risks. He's not suggesting anyone else try this. Still, the influence is undeniable. Extreme endurance challenges, YouTube fasting videos, social media stunt culture can be traced partly to Blaine's stunts normalizing this kind of content. Looking back 20-plus years later, Above the Below is a bizarre cultural moment. A man starved himself in a box for 44 days, while thousands watched and many tormented him. It was broadcast live, it made global headlines, and when it was over, everyone just moved on. David Blaine survived, he recovered, he continued his career. He's now considered one of the greatest endurance performers in history, but at what cost? What did those 44 days take from him that we can't see? What permanent damage, physical and psychological, did he endure? The human body is an incredible machine. It can survive extreme conditions, starvation, cold, isolation, far beyond what we imagine. David Blaine proved that. He showed that with enough willpower the mind can push the body to survive nearly anything. But should we? That's the question Above the Below raises. Just because we can survive something doesn't mean we should attempt it. Just because the body can be pushed to the edge doesn't mean it's wise or meaningful to do so. David Blaine spent 44 days in a glass box without food. He lost 45 pounds. His organs nearly failed. He was mocked, tormented, and humiliated. And at the end he emerged skeletal, weak but alive. He called it art. Critics called it a stunt. Medical experts called it dangerous. The British public called it entertainment. Whatever you call it, one thing is certain. David Blaine pushed the human body to its absolute limit and survived, and we'll never know the true cost of those 44 days. Because some scars are visible, and some aren't.